Right then, welcome back to the channel. We've got another game in the Europa League tomorrow. We're playing Viktoria Plzen, and we've not had a great start, obviously. Win against Bodo, Glimt and PAOK. Give us a little bit of momentum in the group. 12 on 9 points. Out of our last 5, we have won 2, drawn 1, lost 2. Lost both our last 2 games, obviously, with the 2-0 to Arsenal, and obviously the 3-2 where we shit the bed against Forest. Need a win to start breaking our fall. Now we're playing against Viktoria Plzen. They're second in the Czech League. They got 12 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses. They've won 4, drawn 1 of their last 5. They are 10 points behind Slavia Prague, but they've had a pretty solid run with Sparta Prague in 3rd place. That are 6 points behind them. In Europe, they are 1 place behind us in 13th on the same points with 9. How do they play? Well, they've been called, ironically, schizophrenic in terms of their attacking output. They do pose a serious threat when it comes to set plays. Great, yeah. With how utterly dogshit we've been against both Forest and Arsenal on set plays, it's a little bit of a worry. But they also have a tendency to completely disconnect when it comes to their attack. They pack the side full of technically gifted, physically imposing players, and the expectation is for them to aim towards winning the midfield battle against us and then try and form a bit of a mid-block that'll cause us some problems when they don't have the ball. Kalvac, Sulk, Vidra, they all fit into the mould of players that are going to be goal-scoring and providing a little bit of defensive harmony. They are going to set up very similar to us. It'll be a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1. I would expect them to try and match us up like that, shape-wise, but with probably a little bit more defensive intention than we have. I think they will rotate between different shapes, and they could even look like they're using a back 4 a lot of the time. It will obviously depend on the opposition, how they do that, but against us, I think they'll probably change it up. They're going to look to try and play their best football because the game's at home. So with the ball, I think they'll try and have a go at us, especially because we're not quite at our best. And as we've seen previous Europa League games, if they've been paying attention, probably give them a little bit of confidence. Star man for them is Sulk. He is 23-year-old Czech international. He's pretty tricky attacking midfielder at the top of his game at the moment. Probably a matter of when, not if, he moves to like a real big European league, if not team, in the future. He's got 22 goals and 8 assists from attacking midfield last season. He's on 10 goals and 6 assists in 27 appearances. He's a good player, and he's one that you're going to have to contain. And he'll be one that's looking to try and put on a bit of a show with all the eyes watching, with it being Manchester United. In terms of my United 11, I think we rotate. Why? Well, it seems like that's what Amorim's all about, I'll be honest with you. And I think he's keen to have a look at some players. So this team does not represent what I think will be the best team. This team is what I think Ruben Amorim is going to go for. Now, as always, I want to know if you agree, if you disagree, and what 11 you think he's going to go with, rather than the one that you would go with in this instance. Now, as I said, rotated. Onana, I think Mazraoui keeps his spot or gets a spot in defence after missing out last week. Maguire and Martinez as your back 3. Mazraoui, Maguire, Martinez. Triple M in defence. Here's where it starts getting weird. Malacia, left wing back. Anthony, right wing back. Don't hate me. I think in midfield, Casemiro, and I actually think he's going to go Mount or Eriksen as the deeper kind of roles. I'm going to say Mount. And I'm going to go Xerxes and Bruno behind Rashford. Now that could go Rashford and Bruno behind Xerxes, but I'm thinking, yeah, realistically, it's Bruno and Xerxes behind Rashford, even if it doesn't look like that on paper. That's the 11 that I am going to be going for. Let me know yours in the comments. And if you do think he'll rotate, or if you think he'll go with his strongest team, you got to remember it's Manchester City at the weekend. There's a big opportunity there, and I think he would rather that. I think the likes of Ugarte do not feature in this because I think they're going to be absolutely critical, and I think Ahmad as well. So, yeah, I think that you see some serious rotation in this game because of that game at the weekend. Now, as always, this is brought to you by our friends at Hollywoodbets, and they've got an exciting offer for the Viktoria, Plzen and Manchester United game. As we look to try and solidify this group campaign with a hopefully convincing performance away from home, result we're going for is Manchester United to win over 2.5 goals, over 8.5 corners, and over 2.5 cards. Pretty straightforward, really, in terms of a bet. It's been boosted from 2.5 to 1 to 3 to 1. So if you stick a tenner on that, you're going to get 40 quid back should it win. And if you'd like to get involved in that bet boost, all you got to do is click the link in this description to get started. And if you are new to Hollywoodbets, creating an account is very simple, it's very easy, and new customers can access additional offers as well. Details for those are in the description. Odds are subject to change. You must be over 18 to participate, and football is unpredictable. So while rivalry delivers drama, it's meant to add a little bit of excitement, and it's certainly no promise of a win. For more information on responsible gaming, please check out BeGambleAware.org. And as always, it's brought to you by myself and Hollywoodbets exclusively. Click the link to join and let me know your bets in the comments below. How do we beat them? I would say that the best thing you could do is to have a bit of a settled team, and I don't think he's going to do that. He's had opportunities to play around with his team selection since he came in, and I think he's going to continue to do that. I would be shocked if there's not more experimentation in this game, but I think when I say settled team, I think he's starting to understand his players, and the players are starting to understand him a little bit. And there's still going to be players in there that have featured and understand what's being asked of them. So I think ideally a relatively settled team, if not a relatively settled starting 11. But players are starting to understand what's required of them. Hopefully we get in the mix of that. And then secondly, scoring some goals. I couldn't say that our forward line's on fire, because they're not. But we've had some goals. Obviously, we got nilled against Stoke, Arsenal. But we have scored some goals recently since the new coach has come in. If you can nip it up at the back and continue the goal scoring, you're going to start winning some games. Xerxes seems to be adapting slowly. Højlund has scored some goals. I think there's some goals in the team. And if you play without shitting the bed and making mistakes, you should beat Viktoria Plzen at the end of the day, shouldn't you? That's the team I'm going for. That's the outcome I'm going for. I think United win this. But I think he absolutely has an eye on Manchester City at the weekend. Either way, let me know how you think this game's going to go in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.